Hey, you. Let's see. What's going on? Current events, my life and around the world. Quick thoughts on some of that. Gas prices, yeah, they're probably worse right now, and the whole conflict in the Middle East is the excuse for conflict and political advantages or moves, along with corporate companies seizing the opportunity to raise up prices. Gas prices always go up in the summertime because people are getting ready to do road trips and travel. So gas prices always go up in the summertime. Now they're a little higher, I guess, because of the conflict. And most people don't know that, like, yeah, they ship out a lot of oil to a lot of these different places that are harder to get to, islands, different stuff like that, through that area. There is a lot of movement through that area. But as far as oil is, I mean, there's a lot of pipelines. People don't realize that is where most of the oil gets transferred, through a lot of pipelines and different things like that. But yeah, something like, the U.S. is barely dependent on the oil out that way. A lot of it's like world economics and people just using other excuses and all the stuff going on behind the background to raise up prices and make profits and all this stuff. But yeah, so it is a problem, and then especially if people are talking about troops, U.S. troops and other troops getting involved, it's never a good thing when wars kick off, right? It's sad. Let's see what else. No, but there's ways you can save money, and one of the ways I like is my grocery store. I have a credit card through there, and there's you get gas points. So I think the most I ever accumulated, you can cash them in once you spend money and you pay off your credit card, which has been harder recently with a lot of stuff I've been doing, but it's doable. But anyways, you can pay as low as 1 cent per gallon if you do it right. There's ways to be thrifty in this economy, and I'm not the best to give you that advice, but that is one way I save money on gas is using reward programs. Like, I think on average I save 20 to 50 cents a gallon. I think the most I ever had was like 75 cents a gallon. But again, you have to, there's just different stuff like that. I think another one was if you have a subscription to Walmart Plus or something, you get like 10 cents off at Murphy gas stations, all this other stuff. Anyways, like I said, I'm not the best to give you financial advice. I suck with money. I understand the concepts. And let's see what else is going on that's relevant in my mind and in the world. I've been doing guitars for vets. So did my first class. I'm getting ready to learn some songs or whatever, and it's going to be interesting. Hawaii is had some big tropical storms roll through, and there was some flooding on the north shore of Oahu. People have been asking me about that. I don't have any real information other than the news and then what my family reports to me. I haven't heard any big thing as far as people, my family, that have said anything that was, as far as I know, like, I don't have any family members affected, but doesn't mean I don't still care about Hawaii. So it is sad, and I will be trying to send some money that way for recovery efforts and whatnot. And it's the sad thing about it is, it's like, I wish I could be at all these places, like, and help, but I am not in a position to fly out there right now, and I'm not, the best thing I can maybe do is keep in communication with my family and see what the nature of the severity of the events are, and act accordingly, right? I'm always willing to help, but in most cases, when people try and rush in and help without any organizational skills or any official capacity, it ends up being more of a distraction. Same thing with like the Texas floods. I wanted to help so bad, but I didn't have a good resource to do that. I wasn't set up for that. And then I talked to my buddy in Texas, though, and he said, well, he's from Texas. He said they're asking people to stay away, right? I'm not sure that's the case with Hawaii, and I'm not sure how bad Hawaii is, but from what I understand, Jason Momoa is safe, and he did the right thing. He got himself to safety, and his family followed suit, right? His family went with him, and they were safe. And it's unfortunate other families can't do that. They're stuck in those situations. But don't be hating on Jason Momoa. He's gonna help. He's gonna pour some resources into the recovery efforts. And people are so quick to jump on and say, like, oh, like the Ted Cruz stuff, like he abandoned Texas or whatever when we had that ice storm years ago, and he went to Mexico with his family, or this and that, and it was he was the brunt of the joke. But it's a little different for celebrities, right? It's not their jobs to protect or do all these things. And as far as I'm aware, he's probably, he got his family to safety, and he's probably back out there trying to help people, But no, that's good to hear that people are working together and trying to fix these issues. And like I said, it's frustrating because you hear about these stories while you're away from home, and it doesn't matter if you're a civilian or you're in the military. Like, for example, when I was in the military, there was guys I served with that were from New Orleans, and then we're over in Iraq, and Katrina happened, and it was like it's just that feeling of being helpless, and you want to go help your family, be there for your family, and at the end of the day, I think any of us would get there if we have to or needed to, but so far, so I can tell, they're taking care of things and sending my love that way. And like I said, I'll see what I can do to help support, so you can donate to the Red Cross, you can donate to all these different official organizations, or you can volunteer. If you have the time and the money, you can go volunteer and helps with cleanup efforts. What else? Chuck Norris, take off my hat here. Chuck Norris passed away. In Hawaii, of all places. Legend. Grew up watching Walker, Texas Ranger. And yeah, a lot of big events happening in the world. A lot of the people we grew up with were world's changing. It's good and bad. Anyways, or Chuck Norris doesn't die, or he levels up. So he leveled up the Texas range in the sky. What else? That's the news I heard. I sometimes I don't like talking about this stuff, because what if that stuff didn't actually happen, right? It's like fake news. That's the problem with fake news these days, is you get reports of stuff and you believe it, and then you go ahead and make a comment or report on it, and you're like, oh fuck, did he actually die? I don't know. Maybe he didn't die. I don't know, man. Either way, like you said, he doesn't die. He levels up. And what else? What else is relevant? No, I'm trying to get more information on the Hawaii stuff going on. But like I said, I feel like you know, people of Hawaii are resilient. They're capable of recovering from this. And yeah, here I am in Tennessee. What else? I think about it. I've been away from Hawaii since I've gone back to visit, but I've been away for so long that I feel like I've lost touch with my roots and all that stuff. I think there was something else I was going to talk about in this video. Wasn't expecting it to be this long either. I might edit it, or I might just drop it. Intel drops for you.